Hello and welcome to another edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. And how are you doing today?
I'm surprised I have a voice. I mean, I don't think it's completely there, to be honest. I'm doing great, though. It is a victory Sunday.
Yes, and happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody out there. Hope everybody's having a good day. We wanted to record a quick show here. And since the Union have two more matches this week,
Gonna be a
and
busy week.
it is, but we're here today to celebrate an exciting 3-1 victory as the Union wipe the
They wiped the dudes of
NYCFC.
NYCFC.
Yeah, they wiped the NYCFC's home unbeaten streak. So, and the Union have now won 4 in a row, which is exciting, and that's good to see. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But before we get started, what are we wearing today?
Oh, I went with all-time great lightning kit.
Yes, that is a very, very sharp kit. I actually we're both wearing
I thought about that one today.
the previous,
Yeah.
the current and the previous I guess road or alternate kit depending on the matchup.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, we wore like the home kit last night, and
Yeah.
it
So
depends. Yeah.
but before we get started, make sure to subscribe and follow. Thank you for getting us to our goal. Actually, we surpassed our goal of 31 subscribers on YouTube. That's cool. Again, it's fun to see the little this little thing growing. So we thank everybody that listens. And you can interact with us on Twitter at TOTWAG. That's the One Team We Agree On. And on Instagram and Facebook at the One Team We Agree On, all one word. And then again, we are available on Apple, Google, and Spotify podcasts, as well as on YouTube. So let's go ahead and talk about our. That was a long day yesterday, but it was
What a day.
very awesome day. So
Yeah, we'll give a little recap of our day. So, first of all, thank you, Kyle, for doing like 3/4 of the driving.
yeah,
Last
that was it's been my college coaching day since I've driven that much. So
yeah, so we drove up from Lancaster. We were initially going to do the bus trip, but well, we were going to do the ticket only, bus only trip, not the tailgate, but that fell through. So we decided to just drive ourselves. And as much as I mean, Philly sports trip, they put on, they put together a good thing and everything. The tailgates are nice. We did that for LAFC, and they have a nice product, but it was just a little bit more than we wanted to spend for that particular day. And we decided, yeah, we're just going to drive up. And so we did the ticket only. And of course, the tolls are crazy going into New York. So we kind of took a little slightly longer way, not too bad, but avoided most of the tolls, which was good. And it figured out a good place to park, actually.
Yeah, speaking on that, I think, it was a little longer, but the cool part about that drive is, it took us to the Holland Tunnel, and then we actually got to go through a little bit of New York City.
Chinatown.
Yeah, we went through Chinatown, and that was kind of cool just to see everybody out there. I mean, I was driving, it was a little hectic, but I mean, just to cut through the side streets, just to see the area.
We went down a cobblestone street
Yeah. But just to see that kind of area, as crazy as traffic was, it was cool. Just to see like Chinatown, just to see some of the shops, restaurants, even outside of that area, and then cut over into Flushing. That was a really nice little drive along the river.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just aside from the traffic, that's always fun. And we've been to New York City multiple times. We've been to Chinatown, walked through there. Like, how about that time we walked literally from Battery Park at the tip of Manhattan all the way to Central Park?
I don't know, that's where the Statue of Liberty is. Kind of. That's where you take the ferries to get out to
we walked like 7 miles
all
that
the way
day.
up to Broadway and then beyond.
Yeah,
so
but
it's a fun day.
If you haven't been to actual like New York City, definitely go. And yeah, Todd Lewis, you need to get there.
I was about to say a shout out there, but no, Todd, we're gonna get you up there.
Yeah,
definitely.
we shall go sometime. but yeah, it's definitely fun to go see the sights there. And so we kind of, we could have maybe made more of a day of it. I kind of wish we'd got up a little earlier, but it's all good.
It was, and we saw a lot of supporters going up earlier and making day of it.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys had a great time. But yeah, when we got up there past City Field, I mean, we parked. I mean, parking around this stadium is what your normal stadium parking is.
Hmm.
We found a nice little spot, really right across the bridge. It was like a 10-11 minute walk over.
Yeah.
And, it was in this, I
Well, it's
guess
a shopping mall,
it was
and
like a very, it was in that the Chinatown of Flushing, which your buddy Matt had told us about, that
hmm
the little Chinatown area there.
hmm
And it was cool because it was like a lot of like, it was basically, I would say, almost an Asian market,
well, some
place
of the stores
with
were.
like, Foot Locker and
There's
all
a lot.
those. But
Yeah.
it was kind of a cool little store there, mall area.
Yeah. So they have a parking garage at the mall, and we paid $10
So that
for
was a good
parking
deal.
because it was, by the hour, and it was, I mean, honestly, you can't beat that for,
No, not for New
especially
York.
for there. So yeah, the walk wasn't bad at all. You just walk across the bridge, and you're basically there. So it wasn't bad.
And I know I believe, and somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, I think the new plans for the NYCFC stadium is in that area of City Field. The sketches I seen, it
Hmm.
kinda, I believe from what I say, it's like like right in that area. So, in
Yeah.
the future, that might be a spot that, we would recommend you guys park if you are driving up.
Yeah. Or if you're going to a Phillies game at the Mets,
Yeah.
which, by the way, the Phillies are there this coming week.
So if you want to know, just hit Jillian up and she can tell you where exactly we parked. But beyond that, I mean, and we posted some of the pictures on a social media on Twitter,
Hmm.
but I mean, overall thoughts of the stadium. Obviously, it's a ballpark.
So let's look at it from a ballpark standpoint. Now, we've been trying to check off a lot of ballparks. We've
Correct.
been to a lot of the really nice ones, a lot of the major ones. I mean, we've been to, of course, your San Francisco Giants, boo on Giants, but the stadium is phenomenal. We've been to Fenway, of course, Citizens Bank Park a million times,
I've been to,
Camden Yards, the Orioles, and of course, recently we've been to the Rockies,
yeah,
Coors Field. We've been to DC, and which
I've been
is
to
like, okay,
Pittsburgh.
in
We've
Pittsburgh,
been
we've been to Pittsburgh. Is that all
at,
of them?
at Fenway.
Yeah, I said Fenway.
Okay.
But honestly, like okay, I'm a diehard Phillies fan, unlike you. I hate the Mets. Okay. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. But the stadium, for what it was, as much as I want to, you know, rag on the Mets, it was a decent baseball stadium.
It was. And fun fact, the Giants and Dodgers are the color scheme for the New York Metropolitans, and
Hmm.
we are all fans of their mascot,
Hmm.
Mr. Met, the
Yeah.
greatest mascot ever.
The
No,
worst mascot of
we're
all time.
joking here. We
Yeah.
make fun of Mr.
Make fun
Met.
of it all the time.
Yeah, even I'm
Like
like,
literally, I mean, that is one thing we can agree on as well.
that's another thing we can agree on is Mr. Met is bad.
The Philly fanatic, he is not. I mean, oh yeah, let's put let's
I
make
mean,
a giant baseball with, for a head. Real
I mean,
original.
I would disagree with that. I mean, Lucille is
Meanwhile, Philly fans are probably like, who's
who's Lucille?
Lucille?
It's Lucille.
Well,
But anyway, we
that's neither here
digress.
nor there.
But no, I mean, just it's your standard baseball stadium. I mean, the outfield, they had like little shops and restaurants, and we walked around there. The cool thing I liked
The
is like,
aesthetics were decent.
yeah, the aesthetics were decent, and also like they would have like those little on the corners of the like concourse. They'd have like those little marketplaces with all these little different eateries. I mean, a lot of the
Yeah, the food
ballparks
options
have.
were decent. I mean, went with a standard like chicken strips and fries,
But I
overall.
mean, overall, I thought the food options there were great. You could have a good day. We kind of looked around the outfield area. We didn't go over there. They had some
Hmm.
bars and
Hmm.
like looked like a couple sit down restaurants. And when we were walking in, where we took that one picture because we thought we could walk across the outside of the stadium and get more pictures, but then it
Hmm.
was blocked off, so we had to go back around and just went in that one entrance. I mean, overall, it was nice. I mean, where we were sitting, it for like a baseball game, it was a great
Well, we
view.
would have been in great seats if it was a
Oh yeah.
baseball game. Now, as far as soccer stadium, it sucks.
Yeah, so well, yeah, I mean,
Let's
Jim
be
even
real.
mentioned that. I mean, I would say that what was unique was compared to the Yankee Stadium, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but was we were like right down there, right up behind like the
I was
visitors'
shocked they put it so close there.
which was kind of weird because we weren't even like we were kind of to the right of the corner kick where like they would
Mhm.
take the corner kick. So
We were
we're
by
kind of
home
looking,
plate.
yeah, we were looking right at the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
And then like directly across, I thought, okay, that's where like their supporter section was going to be.
Yeah.
But no, their supporter section was like
Kind of diagonal,
was like
like in the
right on the
corner.
corner of the right field wall. Like they were looking right down on the goal line. Now, I guess you could say for like a corner kick, you could really get like an opposing player going, but it was just
I thought
weird.
that was a weird location. I almost feel like we had actually a better location than they did.
I agree, we
And you
did.
heard us on the broadcast apparently, quite a bit. So,
I mean, and even like during the game, like when we weren't chanting, like you really could hear you could hear them, but it wasn't as like when
mhm.
we're at Subaru Park and you can hear them when we're not chanting because they're right next to us.
Yeah.
I just felt like you'd hear them stomp and do that one where they stomp and then they do the like I don't even know what chant they're doing, but
Yeah.
it it wasn't even last year at Yankee Stadium. I felt like there was a more of a presence there.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Like,
And that was kind of different too, because like at Yankee Stadium, we were up and kind of like in the corner and
yeah.
tucked away a little bit, how it tends to be for the away supporters. But yeah, I was shocked we were right by the field there. Um, and and honestly, it was great though for for that. And
And then to the
yeah,
right of us were all the premium seats. There was all these empty seats to the right of us.
yeah,
And then it was all the rest of the crowd kind of spread around to the left, kind of wrapping around the stadium.
yeah.
It was just interesting. Like the atmosphere was fine. I thought we did a
Mhm.
great job of chanting. Like we saw lots of people comment on social media that they could hear us loud and clear.
Mhm.
As you said, I thought what was interesting as that game went on, the fans of NYCFC to the left of us were
Oh
like
yeah.
chanting and like
Well, they were pretty quiet, and then we started chanting, "We can't hear you."
and then they start getting
And then
into
they
it.
start, and then that one guy was like getting, oh yeah, some of them were really then getting salty about it,
And
and
then when they
yeah,
scored that first goal, then they were giving it to us,
which
like, go
okay,
back
fair
to
play.
Philly. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, dude, let's talk. Well, here's another interesting thing, and I missed it. So we were joking about how they had the little traveling banner.
Yeah,
Yeah. To the other side, they actually have like a really nice like thing that says like 2021 MLS Cup Chip,
hmm.
better than the little postage
Oh,
stamp.
the one at Yankee
Yeah.
Stadium was, and that was like the season right after they won that. Like that was pathetic.
And then also they drop that tifo, and I was like, oh, okay. So they actually are letting them drop a tifo, which they didn't do in Yankee Stadium. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, maybe the Mets are giving them a little bit
Hmm.
more like leeway to actually try to make this. I wouldn't say make it work, but they were kind of like the tifo school, which I kind of like even chuckled when I was like, kiss the ring. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nice. And we kept chanting this is 2021 again, you know.
Yeah.
So overall, I thought the atmosphere was definitely lacking. I think once they get their own stadium, it'll be a really, really electric environment. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a wild fan base. So I
They
mean,
do. I mean, as Jim said in the presser, I mean, they deserve
they
a
do.
real soccer
They
stadium. I
do.
mean, that really sucks for them as a fan base. And yeah, we're gonna give them so much crap about it. And like, yeah, we're saying chance like, that we have our own stadium and blah blah blah. And yeah, they're gonna continue to hear it from us until they get one. But you know,
I think when you look from it from a league,
objectively, yeah, it sucks for them. And it's kind of a joke.
it
Like
is a joke,
that,
and it's a bad look for the
yeah,
league.
it
You have a
is.
team this long and they don't have a stadium. Now
I
you
mean,
could
it's one
say,
thing playing in like the football stadiums
you're
that
right.
several of them do, but that's more suited for this. You can make that work a lot better.
I mean, I'm looking at you, Bob Kraft. I mean, you've had the Revolution forever, and you still haven't built them a soccer specific stadium. That
Mhm.
I put that up there with. Come on, like and Charlotte. I mean, they're new, and I'm trying to think who else. Seattle has it plays the Lumens Field, but I
Yep.
mean, they get
Chicago, don't they play where the Bears
Soldier
play?
Field, but
Yeah.
if the Bears move, they're going to try to turn that into a soccer specific stadium.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lumens Field, yeah, it is what it is, but the Sounders packed that. So,
Mhm.
and I know this new team's going to play at I think it was at Snapdragon Stadium, which is a football field. But I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, I hope when the next two teams come out, they get soccer specific stadiums. So we'll see. But
It is nice having our own team. Like we were
it
joking
is.
how, they covered up the Mets signs sort of like
Yeah,
NYCFC sort of. It's like they had these like banners with
I get
yeah.
it, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he has
Just like
these like little banners say like where it says the Mets store, and he even still had like Mets stuff like there.
yeah.
So I mean, overall, I thought our section did a very good job of cheering the whole game. We sat with Ricky and his girlfriend, and they were going to Coney Island amusement park today. So Ricky, I hope you have a awesome day there, and I think they're going to Hershey Park on Monday. So he's been doing the amusement park tour, which I know he's really big on.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, and we got to talk to some people, so it was a good time.
Yeah, we had a real good crowd there, a lot of Sons of Ben and several Keystone State Ultras.
Chants
And
were great last night.
yeah, chants
They
were
were
really good. And as I was saying on Twitter, one of the things I love about away days is because the people that travel are usually the ones that are invested in actually chanting the whole time and
yeah,
being loud and not just, sitting or whatever. And because one thing that as much as I love being in the river end, there's always pockets of people that just aren't, they're just standing there,
right.
if they're standing. And so we have fewer people at this, but it's very concentrated in people being loud. So that's
So
fun.
one thing I do want to mention, and I posted this on Twitter, and you know where I'm going with this.
I
So
do.
before the game kicks off, they're doing their usual pregame announcements, which were fine. I mean, they kind of did some stuff with us, and then they did their whole spiel with their
Hmm.
lineup, and again, it was fine. But the big thing for me was they said for every clean sheet, we will donate 10,000 dude wipes. Now,
Yeah.
it's to Crohn's and Colitis
Yeah.
Foundation,
It's a good cause.
which is a great cause. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a serious medical
Yeah, I know
condition.
people that
Yeah, I
deal
do
with it.
too. And we've actually had them in my programs at the Y,
Hmm.
that suffer from that.
Yeah.
It can be very debilitating, and serious.
Yeah.
So we're not knocking that. What we're knocking is the fact
The fact
that
that it's dude wipes
that's the fact that it's dude wipes, and just the way they're like, we're gonna give 10,000 dude
for a
wipes
clean sheet,
for a clean sheet. And I'm thinking they're going,
I hope they still donate some money to them or something.
and I think it's like 48 in a pack, and I'm like sitting there doing the math today at the gym, and I'm like, that's like 210 packs of dude wipes, $10 a pack. It is what it is. So, I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
just
funny.
find it funny, but unfortunately, there was not 10,000 dude wipes donated again last night. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, site view, for the game. So getting back to where we
Yeah,
were, it was weird. So
it
for those of you who
was.
weren't there, so we're to the right of the one corner kick line on the right side of the field, looking straight ahead. You can't see the left side of the corner kick. So when they were doing corner kicks
Yeah.
from that side, you just see the ball come in. So that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was annoying was from where we were when the ball was coming on a couple of
Yeah.
especially on the second goal, it's just weird. You'll see them kind of build up,
Mhm.
and then you'll see the ball kind of just
It was
it,
just a weird angle kind
it
of, and I'm
was a
used to
weird
being a
angle.
little higher up and I see more of the plays
Right.
developing. I'm not used to being like actually that low to the field.
I just don't
And it was
like
just
that
that angle, like
because I can't see the build up and
yeah. And
like
so I found myself looking at the Jumbotron a lot of the time.
And that was really the big thing.
It's a huge Jumbotron, and you got,
I mean,
good view of it.
I'm like with you, like when they were like in the midfield area, like going either direction, I'm kind of watching the screen, and then I kind of, as they get in attacking, and kind of tune in and see where everything was going. But it was just a very weird sight angle. So,
and also because, it's a baseball stadium, and, most people, they're going to be sitting normally. The rows were not, there wasn't as much height difference between them. So I'm kind of short, I'm only 5'3". And so like trying to, if, people are actually, the people in front of me weren't standing the whole time. So I could see just fine most time. But when people were standing, it was a little harder for me to get a good view too. So short people, you can probably relate.
So let's talk a little bit about the actual game. What were your thoughts?
So the first half was, for the most part, it was okay, but not great. And we were just kind of going back and forth and doing okay the first half. And then that goal gets scored on us, and it's like,
I mean, it's a credit to the Union again, once again, being resilient.
They were, though.
They were. I mean, it was kind of like they were going through the, you get that Kron's offside goal, which, I mean, from our angle, I thought he was on, but again, we were so low. You're not going to be able to tell.
It was frustrating because I'm like, as we go, and I'm like watching for that flag to go up, and it didn't go up for like, it was a bit of a late call, and I'm like, dang it. But
I mean, I thought the Union, as the game went on, they settled into the game.
That scare with Andre when he went down, we're like,
where he got headed.
Yeah. That collision at, the goal there, that was, and then of course we got scored on later. But yeah, I was like saying some prayers for Andre. I'm like, let him be okay. Let him be okay.
Right.
Thankfully he was.
I mean, Brujo has the turnover. I mean, I saw some people scorch him. I mean, yeah, it's a turnover and led to a goal, and I think it was low, kind of almost had a penalty in the box.
Yeah, that was close.
That was going to be close too on that play. So I mean, is what it is. They get the momentum. We're hearing it from the fans over there. But then, again, we go into stoppage time.
And actually, right after we got scored on, we started chanting, though, like trying to get them back into get the team back in.
And so we did what we needed to do. I thought both the goals, again, going back to Jillian, I mean,
our king.
Jim keeps saying it, he's not long for this team. And,
some of us are going to be very, very upset.
And I give him credit because, there's games where he has some bad misses, but, and
he's having fewer. I mean,
he still had some, not
he had a couple.
Game,
yeah. Tonight he was way more on target.
I mean, and I think Jim even said that was one of his best games he's ever played for the Union.
I think so.
He was really active both sides. I felt like that first goal just really knocks down, turns around, and just I thought that was
my gosh, goal. That was such a goal. I mean, the way that was sent down, and Jack sent that down, and that quick touch, and bam, and boy was that exciting, because we had just started stoppage time, and here we are level now. That changed the momentum.
My favorite goal was the second one, and the reason was we get that ball. Andre, no, it's not that reason. Andre, no, the reason is Andre being aware of what's going on downfield.
Yes.
Gets that ball right out to Brujo. Brujo seeing Gazda.com making a run, diagonal pass downfield, gets it out in front. Danny kind of gets to it, shields the defender. Uwa then runs right on that ball. So just a good little, because from my angle, I thought Danny kind of knocked it back, because again, we can't really see it. But then watching replay, kind of like Uwa runs onto it, splits two defenders, beautiful ball back of the net, goal. I mean, and that's where, you see those three in the front working together, kind of just the whole team getting together. And that's what we saw a lot of at times this year, and a lot towards the second half of last year. So that was really encouraging once again, 2 weeks in a row, see those kind of goals coming together. So
that whole setup was amazing.
And just the awareness of where everybody was on the field. So, I mean, you see that second half starts, Carranza is on brace, almost has that one hit.
Oh, he was so close to hat trick a couple times.
But and then also just then you get that penalty, which goes to VAR for a red card. And on the way home, we actually spent a lot of time, and we'll pause real quick on a review. We spent a lot of time watching the second half of the Midwest games and then the West Coast games on MLS 360.
Yeah, we had that playing as we were
and Christina Uncle was spent a lot of time talking about that play, and I know I saw people talking about them reviewing it. But at the end of the day, Gazdag with a great PK again.
To be honest, when we're in the stands there, some of us were like, wait, we'll just take the PK. We'll just take the PK.
Yeah, it's like,
because those who know why we wouldn't sometimes want a red card on the other team, actually.
And then I thought the second half, I thought Jose and Flock were great. I thought we just kind of buckled down. I mean, we had
how about Flock? He's well. I mean, it wasn't like crazy good game, but it wasn't.
He's still limited, but
it wasn't bad.
I mean, I think better. Again, he's confident when he has Jose next to him.
Yeah,
that goes with it, and I think the back three of Lowe, Elliott, and Glessness, I
really like that formation.
I do too. I think it's going to be a nice tool in the toolbox to have moving forward. So, I mean, we kind of shut down. Well, I wouldn't say we shut down. We kind of just settled into the second half. That
PK kind of, man, that I think
kind of took the sail out.
Oh, it took the wind out of their sails big time, and boy, was that a nice PK.
It was. So, and then we end the night 3-1 win. Union now are getting some momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, any other thoughts other than really, I thought, where am I going with this? I really just thought, like, on the night, who stood out with you?
Okay. So Damian Lowe, I love seeing him getting playing time. And while, as you put it, he can be a little reckless sometimes.
Oh, I love him.
I love his energy. And you saw him take the ball down the field, the short field, that is.
And then shoot it, almost break the New Balance sign.
Yeah, but I appreciate, what he's brought to the team. I appreciate his energy and effort, and he actually came into the stands at the end of the game when we were waiting to be let out of our section. He came over, and he looked like he was meeting up with some probably family or something, but apparently Andre's mom was there last night too. Andre came in the stands and too, like just the section over, but came over and acknowledged the fans and everything too. And I thought that was cool. But Damian seems to be a man of the people, and he definitely has, made an impression, I think. But he stood out to me. I think that, some other thoughts. Well, I think it was funny. I have to say, the Apple broadcast, I love that you heard a lot more on it. Like, you could hear a lot from the field mics and everything.
Yeah.
And we could hear, of course, our fans real good. I actually went back this morning and watched a lot of the game, and I love Jim yelling at Jose in like the 92nd minute, like, no yellow card, Jose, no yellow card. And it's like, but you could hear a bunch of things. And also I'd seen on Twitter as we're watching the game that you could hear the referee doing the VAR and hear like his commentary on it and everything. That was cool. But as far as players, I mean, obviously Julian, what a game. He's just been on such a good stretch. Ua, maybe he's not getting the goals as much, but he set up that second goal so nicely.
He was fine.
He was good. I think Jack Elliott, he's been playing really well lately.
Yeah, and I think,
Andre, of course, is
well, and that's what I was going. I thought Andre had a very good night. Again, you saw him as a captain, getting on those guys, especially after that ball hit the crossbar, could have been easily 2-0. He's yelling at the guys like, "Wake up! Wake up! What are we doing here?" And so him to kind of hold the team accountable, I thought that
he's a good leader.
He is, and maybe not on the Bedoya level yet. And again, having a keeper, it can be tough because you're in the back there the whole time. You can't be up like Allie's in the middle of the heat of the battle.
I feel like that was missing a little bit at the cup, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And it's not a knock on Andre. He's phenomenal, but yeah.
Andre's a great leader. I think he does just as much. And I think rather than compare the two, I think we should be more appreciative of the fact that we have them. And there's other guys on the team, you can even make an argument for Jacob and Jack. They do a good job sometimes when you're watching the interactions as well on the field. So I thought, Andre was good. I thought Carranza had a phenomenal game both sides. And then I would say second half, Jose was very good. He kind of, after his yips there, a little bit first half, he settled down, got really good. So overall, great performance.
You got Jesus Bueno.
Yeah, and I thought Bueno came in, was disruptive.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a great job. He got a yellow card, but I mean, he did a good job. And even Chris Donovan,
I mean,
he came in, was trying just to hold up the ball, trying to just draw it out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you take 3 points on the road every day of the week. And I guess, fans left happy. We had a good time. We sang West Virginia for Jack Elliott when he was walking in. The whole bunch of us were singing that song. So at the end of the day, moving on, let's talk about, so we've been to a few stadiums now. And we would love to hear this from you guys. What are your favorite stadiums? I mean, we've been to 7, if you count 2 baseball stadiums. Well,
yeah, we've been to Yankee Stadium last year. Oh, and by the way,
6.
Our first away trip was that one at Yankee Stadium last year, and that was the first time that we'd beaten the Union. I mean, sorry, we'd beaten NYC. Union had beaten NYC at NYC. So that was the first time we'd beaten them away. And then yesterday was the first time we'd beaten them in Citi Field. We were at both games.
Right. So let's compare the ballparks.
But yeah.
Which was your favorite? Yankee Stadium or Citi Field last night?
In terms of game environment, I kind of have to say I think Yankee Stadium was a little better.
Yeah. I think game environment, I think just overall ballpark, it's a better ballpark. Now, I mean, it's also a much more expensive ballpark. I mean, I really like the Yankee Stadium a lot more. Also, I thought Citi Field's just, it's a nice standard ballpark. I think,
Yeah. And, we've been to Red Bull twice. We've been to DC. We've just been to Colorado. And we've been to LA.
So of those next 4, how would you rank them?
Well, gosh, I think it depends. So for me, it comes down to, either overall experience or which was best for watching the game or which had good atmosphere, things to do around. And for me, I think overall just soccer atmosphere and everything, as much as I hated the outcome, I would say LA. Their stadium, that whole stadium was great.
That's definitely my one as well. I think mostly for the atmosphere.
Say what you will about them. Their supporter section brought it. It's a nice stadium. They got a lot going on.
Great views outside of LA and all that, and just their stuff to do around there. It was a cool environment.
I would say for things, and also, Red Bull's a really nice stadium. It's a shame they can't get fans in there.
Right.
Because that's a really nice soccer stadium. But I would say for kind of things to do outside of there, I had a lot of fun at DC.
DC was
Now,
that's where I was gonna go.
yeah,
I think DC, as much as I was like kind of like about the stadium. I mean,
yeah.
it was
And where if you haven't been to DC, where the away supporters have to sit, you have to climb like a freaking
it's
mountain
Mount
to get up
Everest.
there. I mean, I was like out of breath, by the time I got all the way there. It is steep. Just warning if you go. So
But
yeah,
I mean, the stadium's fine. It's an
the
interest,
stadium itself is okay.
but there's a
We like
lot
the area
around it.
around, yeah,
There's a
and
lot to do around
it's
there.
right by where the Nationals play too. And we went to, it's if you go around the river there,
A brewery
there's brewery and stuff. There's
and
stuff to
restaurants.
do.
Yeah.
So I had fun there for sure. And they have like their whole plaza thing going on too.
And then I would probably say after that, uh, I would probably have to go Red Bull. I mean, the
Hmm.
stadium is very nice. Say what you want about the atmosphere. The stadium was really nice.
Hmm.
There were some things around there, like when we were walking with Todd that time, there across to the stadium, there's all those shops and
Hmm.
restaurants like right outside there. It's still a walk, but there's stuff to do around there. Um, and then I would probably say of the nons, baseball stadiums, probably Colorado. Colorado, I thought the atmosphere was very good.
Yeah, it's a good
It's a
stadium.
good stadium. It's just there is nothing around there. There was no pregame festivities.
Nope.
It's just kind of like you show up, there's a game, and you go home. Now, credit to Colorado, free parking.
Yes, that is a big win on them. And man, and do you see? Yeah, Colorado has not won a game at home this year.
Yes, Cincinnati grind out at 3 points
Yikes.
again.
Oh man, ooh,
That's tough for Leslie
that's gotta
and
be tough on their fans. Ooh, can you
yeah.
imagine?
I mean, they just don't have any attacking presence right now.
They really don't.
But anyway, so that's kind of a little ranking. And again, we'd like to hear what you guys think. Um, one funny, one other observation, I do want to make on this was, we're talking about things to do before the game. The one thing I liked about LA, and we were walking. Now, of course, it was MLS Cup, so I don't know how
Hmm.
it is on normal leagues day or whenever.
Hmm.
They have a lot of great food vendors out around that stadium,
Yeah, they do.
and we didn't partake of any of them, but
Yeah.
knocking phone.
Yeah. Whoops.
But it was something
Mm.
I really like that atmosphere with the food stands.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, fun night in New York City, and as
Mhm.
always with you, it makes it even better. So
Yeah,
we have a
absolutely.
good it's something we can do, and we have fun.
Yeah.
And
Got to spend a lot of time together yesterday.
so we look ahead to Wednesday night, another midweek showdown. This time with Charlotte.
Hmm.
Charlotte's an interesting team. You know, I would say they have moved up the ranks. They beat a very bad LA Galaxy team, 1-0. But I mean, they're a team. Last time we played them, that was that game we shall not think
Yeah,
about.
no, that has been
That was a bad game. But they're a team that's going to be tricky. I mean, the next two games, them and Montreal, they're both playing fair.
Hmm.
I mean, I think for Charlotte, Justin Merrim's been phenomenal. Swiderski's always great.
Hmm.
They're a team where if we're flat and they've beaten Atlanta in Atlanta 3-1. They've had some games
Yeah.
where they've looked bad. They've had some games where they've looked great. It's just typical start of season. And it's a typical Wednesday night game at home.
Looks like it should be a nice day. Everybody come out
I,
and enjoy it.
I think if we bring a good crowd, the way we've been playing lately, and we get 3 points, I think it's going to set up for the weekend
Hmm.
very well. If we can get points in these next two games, which we should, um, you know, I think we just need to focus right now on continuing to climb that table
Hmm.
and let the
Yeah.
chips where we are. I mean, say what you want. I hate to admit that right now my preseason prediction is coming true. I mean, Cincinnati is just rolling right now, but
But
it's
will they be able to keep this up, or are they going to lose steam at some point?
no, they're not. I hate to say it. I think what we need to focus on right
Well,
now.
even LA last year had a stretch where
They
they
do. I
kind of
mean,
lost a
every
bit.
team goes through that. They do.
Hmm.
But we'll see. I
We'll
mean,
see.
I mean,
One thing to notice is, yes, they've been on the right side of getting the points, but it's been a small margin.
But we've been through that too, as
We have too.
and
So
grinding
it's not
those
like they're
ones.
putting up like 4, goals and stuff.
Again, they're grinding ways to
They're
win.
finding ways to
We
win, and
just like we used to. So,
yeah.
and again, I'm not sitting here saying that Cincinnati scares me. And they really, if we're playing our best day at Subaru Park,
Should be a good game.
that'd be a heck of a game. I think we get points there. And that's just my opinion. It's just they're playing great ball right now, and we're gonna acknowledge that, objectively. But I think, teams like Nashville, teams like us, are still there and able to do that. And, we'll see how the West shakes out. But I look forward to that. And again, we'll see what happens. But if you're there, stop by, say hi.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good environment. And then we're gonna try to get back maybe Thursday, record a nice little recap if we have time. Weekends are busy, weeks are busy.
Yeah. I mean, I still have school. We're not
But
done.
maybe we can sneak in another episode that week. If not, we'll definitely be back next week to talk about Montreal and obviously Charlotte this week. So
yeah, can you believe it's going to be June?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and next Saturday, we're tie-dyeing at the Sons of Ben tailgate.
So it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, and so if you're at the tailgate, it'll be, definitely say hi. And I'm assuming we'll probably have an unofficial tailgate on Wednesday. And so, yeah, definitely say hi. It'll be interesting to see too how the Union Yards setup, progresses too. So
I think the only other thing I'm curious about is on this Wednesday is how we rotate. Do we go back to Diamond? I would think if Allie's available, we might. And then maybe we go 3 in the back and go against the Diamond against Montreal. That might work. We'll see. So a lot to be a busy week for the Union. We hope to see everybody out there. Bring the energy if you are. But until next time, for the One Team We Agree On, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you this week at the games.